Hello, everyone, and today we're going to talk about how to install Anaconda Python development environment. And first, we need to download the Anaconda packages and from the Anaconda website. And you can type in the Google search is Anaconda download and follow the first link on here. And get you in for a download page, and here you can either register you as a user or re-log in if you already have an Anaconda account. Otherwise, you simply just say skip registration. It brings you down to the end of another page. We're going to install the full-blown Anaconda page right here to call distribution installer. There is another simplified version called Anaconda, which we're not going to use because the packages we use this semester involve a little bit more than the Anaconda can handle. And you can see down here we have Windows environment, and you can download for your Windows. You can download for a Mac OS. And for the Mac OS, you can either download the one with Apple Silicon or with the Intel chip. It depends on which type of MacBook you have. And if your MacBook is from using the Apple's designed silicon chips called M1, M2, M3, and M4 so far, and later this year we will have M5 chip. Okay, so those belongs to Apple Silicon, and if you have an older version of Mac, it's very possible you're using Intel chips at that time. So you download the one you prefer, and you can install Anaconda in a graphical installer or command line installer based on your choices. In this particular video, I'm going to go over the Windows installation first, since it's a little bit more complicated than the Mac. Mac is ready to use right after the installation. However, Windows, we need to do some adjustment. Here you just click on download this, okay. And also, this week, Anaconda is announcing a new version called 2025 06-1, which is June's first version, and I think right now the default version is 2025 06-0. Here you can see we have Windows and Mac OS, okay, and ARM represents the Apple Silicons and Linux and so on. And then you can download that over, and for our class, you can also download directly from the Canvas class modules. In the first Python online training portion, you can download it from here. So either way, you can have three, and after you download that, we can launch the installation. And again, this particular video is for Windows only, and we will have a separate video talk about Mac OS installation a little bit. And so you just go through installation, say a license agreement, and for most of you, if you are the only user on this laptop or computer. It doesn't matter which one you choose. But if you're using a just me and if you're using a computer with a multiple user, you should probably just choose just me. I want to use this. Okay. And where is install? Okay, here is just me using that. So I'm putting it into my my home directory. Okay, and just accept the default. Everything should work. And installations going on. The installation could take 10 to 20 minutes, so I'm going to pause this recording and come back when the installation is complete. Okay, now it's finishing, and we click on next, and there's some boilerplate, and here it says launch the Anaconda Navigator. Okay, after we see the installation is complete, next we're going to start configure the Anaconda environments for different classes or different project you may have for different requirement. I'm going to install this and launch the Anaconda Navigator, and there will be a welcome to Anaconda page showed up on your browser. It takes a few minutes to load up the Anaconda Navigator. I'm going to pause this recording. Okay, now it's Anaconda Navigator is launched. So you can sign in for your account for AI coding and help and so on. But I'm going to skip this for now and go for the regular stuff. First I'm going to do is I'm going to install the command prompt for Anaconda process and command.exe prompt for Windows. So it will give you a shared terminals, and you can type in various installations and update commands on this terminal window. It takes a few minutes. Next you want to install is the PowerShare command prompt. Okay. For that. This is for the basic, basis environment. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to create other virtual environment, create for other virtual environments for different classes and different projects. And I'm going to wait until this process is finished over here. Okay, the process finished. I want you to pay attention to the left-hand side, this tab. The second tab is called Environment. Click on that, and you will see that right now the virtual environment list is right here. I only have one virtual environment called Basis or Root. Okay, Base or Root. And for different classes and or different project later on in your company, you might want to using different virtual environment for different project or classes because each one of them could have a special requirement or special software packages you want to include and have everything in one environment may not be efficient. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create a virtual environment first. And this virtual environment, I'm going to call it IMSE 780 methods of OR. Next thing is you want to pay attention. By default, the Python compiler use is 3.13 something. And also you can use in R language, and here most of our graduate level classes or undergraduate level classes we're going to use in Python. However, 3.13 is not compatible with this many machine learning packages. So I'm going to install 3.12 to be compatible with deep learning packages such as TensorFlow, PyTorch, and all that software we're using in the class. I'm going to create this environment using Python compiler 3.12, and it takes a few minutes to get it set up, and I'm going to pause the recording and come back. Okay, now this is IMSC 780 virtual environment is created, and you see some of the default packages already being installed right here quite a bit. And I'm going to create another one just in case, and another classes we need to use it. For example, IMSC 730, which is data engineering 1 class, require very different set of packages. So I'm going to create that as well. Just showing you we have a liberty to create other type of okay. And again, I'm going to backtrack to Python 3.12, create that environment. I'm going to again pause the recording until it finished the installation. Okay, I created 2 separate virtual environment, one for methods of OR, the other one for data engineering 1, for example. Now I'm going to set up some software according with these type this environment. For example, now I can highlight 780 and go back to home. And you see that on top now the environment I'm targeting is IMSC 780. And if you want a different one, you can always choose from the top menu here. The first things I want to install is the command prompt again. After I finish that, you see that you can click on launch over here to launch that. Next thing I'm going to do before I install Jupyter Notebook, I'm going to install PowerShare prompt. This is only for Windows environment only. For Mac OS, you don't have to do these 2 steps, okay? You directly install the Jupyter Notebook. That will be good enough. And we'll show you in the separate lecture video. Okay, it's done as well. So you have both command prompt and the PowerShare prompt. Next things I want to do is install the Jupyter Notebook. It takes a few seconds, so also I would like to pause the recording and come back when it is finished. Okay, we finished installing the Jupyter Notebook. You can launch your Jupyter Notebooks over here. And maybe for you want to install the Spider, which is a text-based development environment many people also use. what I usually do is I install Jupyter Notebook for teaching and collaboration and demo purpose. And when I work with my graduate student for project development, I'm using Spider. It's a fast and easy turnaround type of easy to navigate type of text-based development environment. But for now, we should have enough already to go move on. And I can also go to this IMC 730 if I want to do the same thing for them. And you just repeat the process, install the command prompt, and install the PowerShare prompts, and install the Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to do the same thing and return this after I come back. After that, I can launch Jupyter Notebook from here. And you will see this. And one of the default folder to start, this is actually your home directory, which is C/user and whatever your username is. Here I have a virtual link to all the different classes I have in the past. For example, I'm going to do the IMSC 730 and go to time series and go to loading one of those Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so this is the Jupyter Notebook. This is how it looks like in Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to leave that to shut down the Jupyter Notebook server. You can just say shut down and shut it down, and you can return it to this. Also, you can launch your command prompt, for example, and you will see that this is your home directory, C/users/ your user ID. And then in from, you have a particular prompt called IMSC 730 or IMSC 780, which are the two virtual environment I just created. Okay, so these are the things actually you use, and we're going to using various comments on this in a few seconds. Okay, I'm going to leave this open, or you can also open the PowerShare environment. As well. Okay, the PowerShare environment and has a different type of share command, and I want you to pay attention. I'm going to leave this open for now. And the next things I want you to do is download the requirement.txt file from the Canvas, and so we can set up the basic software we need for the class. Okay, we come back, and since this is environment, we see that we have quite a bit of folders to link it to here. And here I'm going to using IMSC 730. So I'm going to cd 730 425 and there. And I'm going to see that there is also already a requirement.txt file over here. So here I'm going to install the basic requirement for the development environment for IMSC 730. Same thing for IMSC 780, for example. I will have a different set of requirement.txt file. So the command to install using a batch file is, let me see, I'm going to do conda, okay, conda install -- file and requirement.txt. Okay. So this is the way to set up all the basic software required in a batch mode and using a file listed over here. I want you to be able to see that in a show you in a second. All right. Bring it up for you. Okay, so here is the file content I have. I want to install Jupyter. I want to install various different basic software, okay, for the class. Just so you know what is the content of the requirement.txt has, and I'm going to hit return. All right. I'm just going to say yes, install all of them. Okay, after it's done, you can actually see what kind of software you have, conda list. It shows you all the installed packages, okay? So you can actually do this for IMSC 780 as well for those process. So what I'm going to do is show you 2 extra commands to update yours, keep your Python Anaconda environment in place. So the first one is called conda update, okay, -n base. The name is environment is update the base environment, and the software is conda. The conda itself is the package management system in the Anaconda system. So here we'll show you how to update the package management first. I remember that the software we just installed is specifically for IMSC 730. You need to repeat the same process for IMSC 780. I'm coming up to show you how to do that in a second. Okay, and here what I have is after we update the base environment, now we are ready to update the current environment. Okay, update -- all, and that means update all the software package in the current environment, IMSC 730. Okay, these are the software will be updated, and some of them, because the compatibility problem, it will be downgraded in this case. So for example, here I'm just showing you the NumPy I installed initially is 2.01. Now it has can be upgraded to 2.31. So this upgrade, and I usually update once a semester before the semester start, maybe to the next semester it will have a newer version. So I'm going to just say yes for the current environment. Okay, it's done. Also, I want to say, hey, these are just automatically install and update for our system. And then we're going to, sometimes during the course of the semester, we need to manually install certain Python packages. Here's a list of Python package. You don't have to install right now. I will go over these with you in class, each lecture when they need it. And I leave this out for the automatically installation script because I want you to be able to manually install some of these packages later on, and also let you know during any projects or a different project, different classes, from time to time you need to install additional package, and how you just install one single or individual Python packages or library. For example, now I'm going to install the statistics models particularly. So here what I'm going to do is for this one, we're going to go to Anaconda, install, okay, and statistic package, model packages. All right, and it will actually search from the web and find out the most current version for you. And for example, most recently updated over this July is the statistic model 14.5. Okay, and I say yes, it will automatically install that. Okay, and also in this document I have show you different way of installs Python library, and using a different channels to install that, and you gonna need this for different classes and different project and different utility. So in IMSC 730, for example, we need quite a bit of a forecasting type of a Python library to dealing with time series data. So these are the additional one we use. And but for now, I'm just going to illustrate using how to install the basic statistic model Python library for you. Okay, so we move on. We can also switch our Python into 780, for example. Now we're switching a different environment. And launch the command prompt again. And you will notice this from the previous one difference. And the virtual environment you are in right now is the IMSC 780 instead of IMSC 730. And you can do the same. Okay, do again. I'm just doing repeat exercise so you know what's going on. So first I'm going to install the package from a file called need to change to the directory first. IMSC 780 425 730, for example, 425 and Anaconda. Anaconda is a software package application, install using the software management software called Conda, install software from a file, okay, from a file called current directory dot backslash is current directory requirement, and you can just hit tab and you'll auto finish instead of typing, and it will do the same. Okay, installing. Okay, after you finish, you can install the statistic model software. Install stats model and do the same. Done. After that, I can do a update to keep all the library up to date. All right, so we're pretty much done here for the Windows environment, and you can using the Anaconda Navigator to launch Jupyter Notebook again, and to doing your homework and exercise, download your exercise. One thing to remember again, your default Jupyter Notebook, when you launch the Jupyter Notebook, it is your default. And also you can actually launch your Jupyter Notebook directly from here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this is a directory. The root is actually your current directory where you're at. So, for example, right here, your current directory is user chw, which is your username, IMSC 730 for 2025. And once you launch the Jupyter Notebook under this directory, and the default root directory will be on that particular directory. So we can go in right here and start loading Jupyter Notebook. I'm sorry, not this one. Close. Okay, so you will see the demo we have in class already from this Jupyter Notebook, and for IMSC 780, we will use a different, very different set of packages, such as the optimization package, and SciPy, solving differential equations, solving probability problem, statistic problem using stats model. We just install, and we're going to go through that throughout each different classes. So I want you to understand the reason I'm spend time to show you how to install different virtual environment, as because you might taking different classes right now and from in the future in our curriculum, and each one of the faculty will require a different set of setting or Python packages to use in their class. Using a isolated virtual environment to manage your course or your project later on, it might be beneficial, because some of the projects, the packages they use Our older packages can only compatible with the Python compiler 3.11 or 3.10, and some of them can be using the newest one as 3.13. So all these can be isolated in using the virtual environment. And pretty much what we finish today's lectures with condense. I cut off all the installation waiting time for you, so the lecture is about over 30 minutes. Hopefully it's not too long for you. Okay, we'll see you in another lecture video to show you how to install Anaconda in the Mac OS environment. Okay, and we'll see you in the next lecture video.